This is Aaron with anetcomputers.com with another video for you today. This one deals with a Microsoft issue, how to fix Microsoft locked security screen. Now, this isn't when you're locked out of your computer because you forgot your Microsoft account password or your local account password. No, this is actually what I consider scareware. It's a free type of software. Get it? It's called scareware. Okay, let's delve into this issue. Now, this was a customer of mine, client. Here is their issue quoted verbatim. My HP laptop, in reference to Hewlett-Packard, has been locked by Windows Security. They locked my computer, and viruses are being sent over my computer. I am communicating with you on a second computer. Now, I'm not sure how they would know that viruses are being sent over that computer if it was locked, but neither here nor there. They were using a Hewlett-Packard computer with Microsoft Windows 10 operating system installed. They were using a second computer to communicate with me. Now, here is how they fixed it. It's sometimes an easy fix, and then I will expound upon in greater detail what really caused this problem. They performed a cold boot. They just powered off their computer and then powered it back on. By definition, a cold boot is this. What you do is you press the power button on your computer until it powers off completely. Then you will want to make sure that you keep the power button pressed until it does power up completely. All right? Once it powers off completely, that's a cold boot. And then you just power it back on. Press the power button. It should power back on, and it should boot Microsoft Windows operating system. See, it was locked and it was frozen. You know what I'm saying? Now, that computer was infected with malware, spyware, viruses, the trifecta, any one of the above. You know what I'm saying? However, this is what I consider scareware. Again, it's free. Get it? There's a lot of nefarious people on the internet claiming that they are from Microsoft support when they're not. And so what they do is they try to scare you into paying them money or giving access to your computer, and then they claim that they're official Microsoft technical support, and they'll remotely connect into your computer and fix it. No. So a quick way to resolve that issue is what I just told you. Now, if the computer is not frozen, you could also try a reboot. If somehow you could restart it, but a lot of times just a cold boot. You know what I'm saying? Then when it reboots, see if you're able to log back in. A lot of times you are able to. Now, they claimed that they heard a verbal message stating that their computer was locked by the Microsoft security team. So that is it. That's what solved this problem. If you're patient or if you want to hang around, I'll give you a few other tips, troubleshooting tips. The rest of this is just kind of a lecture on what I consider scareware. There's a lot of fraudsters out there that impersonate as Microsoft support when no. Number one, Microsoft Corporation does not hire employees to lock your computer. I mean, why would they do that? Number two, they do not telephone people. They do not call people out of the blue or out of nowhere or not announced. They do not. Now, if you contact Microsoft support and open up a trouble ticket, you may have to pay for it, whatever. If you're in a corporate environment, that might be different. They may call you back. They may have a callback feature, but that would be solicited. Microsoft does not contact you when it's not solicited. You know what I'm saying? And then there are a lot of, scam artists and fraudsters out there that portray themselves as being for Microsoft support when they're not. And I consider this scareware. You know what I mean? They use all kinds of tactics. And then they'll try to convince you to maybe call, well, the on-screen messages are also scareware. Like they heard a verbal noise. Some of them will flash, code red. Alert, 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 Aaron. Oh my God, Aaron. This is emergency, Aaron. Call Aaron. Visit my website, Aaron. No, you don't want to do that. No. They're just trying to scare you into acquiescence. You know what I'm saying? They might have a telephone number that they want you to call. They may want you to visit a website. Well, if you visit that website, it may have malware, spyware, viruses, or all the three above. If you call them, they might pressure you into paying them money right up front. And then they'll claim that they'll log into your computer. And what's even worse is that they are already remotely connected into your computer because it was malware with a remote tool, and they're already sniffing around, you know what I mean? And then you call them up, and then you pay a lot of money, and then they just miraculously fix the issue. Well, that's because they were already remotely connected. You know what I'm saying? Or they ask you if they can remotely connect then. There's also ransomware. So it's just the sky's the limit. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, just because the computer powered off, powered back on, booted up Microsoft Windows, you saw the login screen, you entered in your credentials, your desktop looks normal, your notifications, whatever, all things look normal. Not necessarily. So this is where you can take some additional precautions. What you might want to do is you might want to run some malware, spyware, and virus scans. Now, Microsoft Windows 10 has a built-in software called Windows Defender. To me, it's not the best, but it is sufficient. You could use the built-in Microsoft Windows Defender and then run a full malware, spyware, and viruses. I believe the newer versions of Windows Defender actually will scan for all three. Viruses are not as much of a problem anymore. They do occur, but really it's malware and spyware, and then sometimes scareware. A lot of computer technicians are not talking about scareware. The YouTube technology shills that only care about their money and selling coffee mugs with their faces or talking about politics, whatever those clowns do. They may not care about discussing this topic. I label it scareware. You know what I mean? But just in case, just go ahead and you can, if you already have antivirus software installed, it really, to me, doesn't matter the brand. I'm not here, that's a whole nother video. Go ahead and run a complete scan. If you don't have any antivirus installed, go ahead and you can use the Microsoft, Windows Defender. I'm going to go into overtime. I can already see the countdown. What else? Let's see. And then a full scan. One tip is just to go ahead and run a full complete. A lot of the scans are not full scans. They're the ones that are automated maybe every day, once a week. They're actually not full. Full scans can take a long time, but you just saw some, scareware tactics, so your computer may be infected, you know what I mean? So you may want to run a complete full scan. It could take a while. It could take hours. Who knows? Depends on different variables. Now, here's two additional tools. Now, caveat emptor, you do not have to, and here's the 8-minute. That's my 8-minute warning, but I forgot to turn it on, so I'm already well into overtime. Okay, you do not have to use this software, but I used to use Emsisoft Emergency Kit, and I also used to use Super Anti-Spyware. If you never heard of them, you can check them out, read the reviews, just, it's up to you. But you certainly don't have to use these tools. They're the ones that I use with my computer repair business that I had once upon a time. My point is that you want to use some separate tools, perhaps. Now, Microsoft Windows Defender, it may not, and I know for a fact because I've tested it, it may not catch some viruses, some malware, some spyware that other software will. It's been a few years now, but at that time, Emsisoft was pretty reliable and Super Anti-Spyware. Like Emsisoft and Super Anti-Spyware would detect malware and spyware that maybe that I know for a fact other software did not. Now, I'm not sure that if MSysSoft also scans for viruses, it may, but I'm pretty sure that Super Anti-Spyware does not scan for viruses. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't think they do, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? But yes, Microsoft Windows Defender, when it was first developed, it only scanned for viruses, but now it can scan for malware, spyware, and you know what I mean. But I've ran tests, and there's some software that just will detect items that Windows Defender will not. Okay. Now, another thing you could try is that now this blog post just goes on and on and on about some other tactics, but here's another tip. But before that, how about this? If you ever need online computer technical support, you can ask a computer technician now and solve your computer problem. I have partnered with a third-party company. They have hundreds of computer technicians at your disposal that are vetted and verified. They can help you fix your most common computer problem over the telephone, over online real-time chat, over video even possibly, and over the telephone. Also, they can remotely connect into your computer and fix your problem. You can always browse to anetcomputers.com and click on Get Tech Help. Okay, back to this video. One final tip is you could save time and you could actually perform a Microsoft Windows system restore. And that is a tactic. Instead of running virus scans and malware, spyware, and ransomware scans, all that, you may not 100% be able to remove what's infected your computer. You know what I'm saying? It may also take a lot of time. It may be costly. What you could do is if you think that your computer has been infected, or just peace of mind, because you don't know. There may not be any malware or spyware or virus, but there could be a remote control tool, and there could be a keystroke logger. I'm not fear-mongering. I'm just telling you with decades of experience in information technology, there could be software hidden that a lot of these scanning tools will not detect. One of them is a remote tool that will allow anybody, to remotely connect into your computer without you knowing, spying on you. That is kind of a form of spying, but that's like spyware is basically software that is automated and it spies on you. There could be a keystroke logger. Every time you type into the keyboard, it may be logging it, and then what it can do is it can transfer the results back over the internet. Oh, yes, yes, yes. They can also eavesdrop on your microphone. Oh, yes, yes, yes. So what you could do is you could perform a Microsoft Windows system restore and restore it back to before you had this problem. So you just want to restore it back before you had the locked screen and the fear-mongering and the bells and the whistles and the alarms and the fire hydrants and the fire department and the emergency vehicles showing up at your house. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Now, I'm not going to provide those instructions. It just depends on which Microsoft operating system you're using. You can perform a quick search for Microsoft Windows 10 System Restore, Microsoft Windows 7 System Restore, Microsoft Vista System Restore, because the instructions are not all 100% the same. They're pretty much similar, but not 100%. Okay? That is my final tip. You can always browse to anetcomputers.com to fix your most common computer problems. You can also find out what platforms I'm available besides YouTube, youtube.com/anetcomputers. You can subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm located on Twitter, Facebook, twitch.tv, trovo.live, Instagram, TikTok, and Rumble. Adios.